Have my wonderful members, Ayesha, the deputy team leader, Nikesh, member, Atula, Fatima, Ugochukwu, Mohammed Adal, Udoka, the team leader. So I'll do a quick presentation on our introduction to CSR. The CSR brings up the idea of the responsibility of the business in a particular society which is located, both the negative and positive impact. So with this, Akzonobel have some rival competitors which they have to work on some responsibility to boost and do a more healthy competitive advantage. Why do we do the CSR analysis? To sort out suitable and recommendable ability and efforts to overcome our rivals. We have some other competitors like RPM, Lipo Pens, which are rivals to Akzonobel. So with the help of a good CRR strategy, I hope they will have a good outcome and a better policy to overcome the challenges. Then I have to present and introduce my team leader to continue from where I start. Thank you.
Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Udoka. We're going to take on, we're going to go straight into the SWOT analysis of Akzonobel because of the time. But before that, we're going to go quickly about the origin of Akzonobel. It's a company originally from Netherlands with a global presence in 150 countries and a total employee count of about 35,000 people. One of the important strengths of Akzonobel is their leading brand portfolio. Akzonobel boasts some world-renowned leading brands such as Dulux and Seconds. Dulux is basically the #1 company for household decorative paints. And then you have Seconds, which are also very known for performance paints for automobiles and aerospace industries. And you have International, which is for the marine and the anti-corrosion chemicals. Another strength of Akzonobel is also their diversified business model. Akzonobel boasts 48% revenue from their interior decorative paints and another 37% from the specialized coating. The company has grouped the specialized coating company into another company named Norion. Norion is the household company that is housing the subsidiaries of all the specialized paints. And then another 15% of its revenue comes from their performance coating, which, as like I mentioned, are used for automobiles, for heat resistance and whatnot. Another strength of Akzonobel is the global presence. They boast some very strong markets in the North American hemisphere and also in the European hemisphere, also in Asia. Let's look at the weakness of Akzonobel. Akzonobel uses a complex structure, also known as a hybrid structure, which is basically a combination of a divisional structure and a functional structure, which makes it quite difficult for instructions to communication from the top of the management down below. So there's bureaucracy and there's also a bit of hurdles in slow decision-making process. So that can be a problem. Akzonobel faces problems with commodity price fluctuations. For instance, the titanium oxide and crude oil. Fluctuations of those products particularly have an impact on the price of the profit margin of Akzonobel. So that's one of the problems. Then the limited exposure to high growth markets. Akzonobel are concentrated mostly in mature markets like that in Europe and North America. But they have presence in the other areas, like in the India and Asia, but very limited. So that would also limit their competitiveness in these areas because of their limited presence. And now we move on to the opportunities. They capitalize on sustainability. Akzonobel invests, they're the highest investors in R&D, if you ask me, because I think they invested about 203 million euros on R&D, which means that they are literally the global leaders in sustainability solutions for the paint market. And they also have emerging market expansion, which Akzonobel potentially are moving into those areas where there is a potential rapid growth for sales. And then digital transformation could be another opportunity to improve the business when you look at the digital process optimization for decision-making process and customer engagement. And we look at the threat. We have the strong competitors like RPM, PPG, and Nippon Paint, which are also very strong and have very strong market share. Raw material price volatility, like we mentioned, the oil and the changes in the price will affect the company, and regulatory changes, which the company also will have to make adjustment, which will cost the company money. And then you have technological disruptions like the 3D paint, which can be like an alternative to, paint, and they might want to look into that area as well for improvement. Akzonobel competitive advantage. Putting Akzonobel in a framework was quite difficult, but we managed to put them in a differentiation focus because of their high investment in sustainability. So they are one of the leaders in creating sustainable solutions to paint making and also high product options or product offering due to their extensive research. We also have the growth and profitability balance. Akzonobel has a very high cash reserve. As much as they also want to expand and grow, they also want to have a very high amount of cash reserve. In the further slide, we're going to look at the cash reserve and the operational profit of Akzonobel. We also look at the operational efficiency, the strong margin management. Akzonobel also boasts a very strong operational income from the financial statement shows that they have 30%, about 30% increase from, 107% from operational income, which is quite massive from their previous year performance, which shows that they are reaping the rewards of their extensive investment in R&D. And they also have the sustainable solutions to differentiator and then the balanced geographic exposure, which means that they are strategically placed all over the world and they are gaining sustainable market share. Let's also look at the Akzonobel's triple bottom line, which is one of the first parameters of the CSR. And then we look at the people. In the people section, we have the employee section under the people focus. So this is basically what Akzonobel practices internally. You can see that there's a healthy adherence to laws of United Nations and also government laws in employee treatment. And then they also have the people focus, which involves Akzonobel Care, the Akzonobel Cares, which involve community development and the preservation of historical cultures, just like the Jodhpur project, which is a special city in the northwest of India that has a very long history of monarchs or kings or royalties. This place used to be used to have an itinerary for war, but now it's just like a museum. So every now and then, Akzonobel carry out projects to preserve these cultures by making these beautiful paints and keep the environment alive. They also have extensive similar initiatives in places like Malaysia and Indonesia. And look at the planet. They have 28% decrease in their carbon emission compared to 2018. And they also look at having a CO2-free emission across all their value chain by the year 2030. And the profit section of the Akzonobel, you can see that there's a 5% increase in the revenue, and 1.8% of that is coming from the the company acquisition, which is good. They have a positive cash flow, reduced net debt, and steady shareholder dividend. Let's look at the Carroll's pyramid of Akzonobel. Akzonobel basically have fulfilled most of the government law, except we'll point out to the point where they were fined for the use of banned chemical substance somewhere in Europe, and they got fined. This had adverse implications on their finances because on the direct cost paying the fine is going to lead to direct cost, and indirect cost is going to come with legal fees, reclamation fees, and every other thing that comes with it. Of course, it's going to affect the operations. So one of the problems of the CSR was not fulfilled, and that's why they had to incur this cost. Philanthropy, you can see that Akzonobel has invested yearly, annually, £50,000 to help train communities, help homeless people, and also create gardens for veterans. Let's look at the financial part of Akzonobel performance. You can see that due to their high investment in R&D, they have a very high operating income. Operating income, if you don't know, is basically the income that the company generates from conducting its own business. So basically, once you have sold the goods, the money that is made from those activities is your operating income. So you can see Akzonobel have been able to generate money. The blue line represents 2023 and the red line represents 2022. So from last year, there have been steady increase in net income, adjusted operating income, which is basically once you remove every other expenses of operation and what is left. This is adjusted income, and then this is entire operating income, which are all in profit, so which is good. Sorry. Oh, okay. I would introduce my colleague now to take on the next item on the slide, which is one of our competitors. Nikesh, on the floor. Thank you very much.
Hello, my name is Nikesh. I'm going to talk about the competitor of Akzonobel, that is Nippo Paint. It's founded in 1881. It's in Japan. It's had global business of 60 countries. The competitive advantage of the Nippo Paint is low funding cost, strong financial position, and to attract the talent. So we're going to talk about Porter's strategy, which have trade of new entrants is low because of the low funding cost. Bargaining power of buyers is moderate, which have diverse product portfolio. Bargaining power of suppliers is low because of the strong financial position. Rate of substitute is moderate. It's focused on innovation and R&D, and have autonomous operation. Rivalry among existing competitors is moderate to high, which have strong brand reputation and innovation. Talking about strength of Nippo Paint, it's have extensive experience and global presence of 130 years, and the production differentiation is through research and development. Weakness about the Nippo Paint is it have limited product range, limited market share potential, and restrict growth opportunity because it's mainly in the Asian region and it's not in the North America or South America part. So potential inventory management challenges is also the weakness of the Nippo Paint. So talking about Nippo Paint CSR strategy, Carol Pyramid. In the part of philanthropy, Nippo Paint organize events like colorful drinks art camp for children, which you can see from the picture here. So they do that to well-being for the children. So talking about ethical part, the company claims to follow labor laws and regulation globally. They pay above minimal wages, so talking about the legal, they have one employment fraud in one of the companies in Singapore, where 5 Nippo Paint employees charged for alleged cheating offense involving about $370,000. Economic, they have revenue of 1.2 billion in 2023. So talking about operating profit, the company expects a 23% profit rise in the 2024, driven by sales growth in various regions. So talking about people, education, empowerment, and engagement initiative have done for the well-being of the people from part of Asia. So they have invested over 7.8 million euros in 448 activities globally, impacting 10.65 million people. talking about plan A, it is reducing volatile organic compounds by the help of their paint. It adheres to environmental regulation, investment in research and development, and environmental protection. That is 89 million euros over 3 years. So now my friend is talking about RPM International.
Hi, my name is Atula. I'm talking about RPM International Company. So it's founded in 1947 as an American multinational company specializing in manufacturing and marketing of specialty coatings, sealants, and building materials. So the strength of RPM is strong demand in certain sectors, focus on repair and maintenance, operational flexibility, diversified portfolio, and the weaknesses are volume decline, impact of inflation, destocking, and uneven performance across segments. So the competitive strategy as differentiation, focus strategy, focus elements. RPM utilizes a focused approaches in two ways: product focus and the geographic focus. So I'm handing over to next person. Thank you.
Hi everyone. In this slide we have RPM's CSR strategies, and we have used Carroll's pyramid and bottom line. While seeing the legal aspects, we can see that they are complying with the laws including anti-corruption and environmental regulation. At the same time, they are facing the investigation from SEC for accounting irregularities. And while talking about the philanthropical, they have been supporting education and community development, and in 2022 they have been awarded for the same. While in the ethical aspects, they are promoting human rights and equality, and in the economic aspects, there is an increase in the net income by 15% as compared to the last year. And in the planet and people, they have been providing sustainable product development and waste reduction. By moving on to people, they have a policy, diversity and inclusion policy. That's it. Now we have Aisha for the next slide.
Thank you, Atul, to represent me. Next, I'm going to talk about CSR strategy comparison. So we have three companies. The main company is Akzonobel. So if we compare the focus of three of the company, so the Akzonobel company is mainly focusing on community transformation, education, and environmental sustainability. On the other hand, RPM International is focusing on employee well-being, diversity and inclusion, and environmental sustainability. On the other hand, Nippon Paint focusing on education, empowerment, and community engagement. And the strengths of three of the company is for Akzonobel, community engagement, plastic pollution reduction, investment in renewable energy, and sustainable product development. And for RPM International, the strengths are emphasis on fair wages, diverse recruitment strategies, and sustainable product development and waste reduction efforts. On the other hand, for Nippon Paint, strengths are collaboration with communities for tailored initiatives and investment in education and vocational training programs. And the weaknesses are for Akzonobel company is limited information on addressing social issues like diversity, inclusion within the company. And for RPM International company, it's a limited promotion opportunity and favoritism, dependence on price hikes to offset volume decline. And lastly, Nippon Paint's weaknesses are limited activity on environmental sustainability and addressing the climate change. And finally, the recommendation stage, where if we recommendation the strategy for Akzonobel company, it will be explore partnership with waste management companies to collect and repurpose leftover paint for future projects, and encourage employee volunteering and skill-based monitoring within Akzonobel cares programs. And lastly, implement strict environmental measures at all facilities, including regular independent audits to avoid further environmental pollution in the future. So that's all. these are the references.
2 questions.
So,
2 questions.
Yeah.
yeah. So the recommendation. CSR recommendation.
I gave you 2 questions.
So, the comparison is
You cheated. Okay. Some good, excellent analysis. But as always, I get re-educated when I get here. How to spell triple. Is that tipple or triple?
triple.
Okay. When I went to school, they only had 1p. But I've been to school for a long time, so they may have added some extra p's that I didn't know about. Okay? So check your spelling. It's good analysis, really busy, and you know, you went over time because you did before you got to the comparative slide, you went through blow by blow, and there's a lot of information there. So you should have just compiled it all into, you know, maybe a couple of slides or whatever. Yeah, and because you went into so much detail with the competitor, that's why you ran over the clock. So you need to check your citations, like for the O and T, and I think Carol's, and also the triple bottom line, there were citations missing there. And it was a bit confusing at the beginning. The context should be, your introduction was okay, and then it got a bit confusing. You should talk about the company first. Who is this Akzonobel? It's a bit confusing. Yeah. There we go. Take a photo. There we go, take a photo.